Hello students, how are you all? I hope all of you are safe and secure. So today is our moral science class, and today I am going to start a new chapter, that is jealousy, a curse for mankind. So all you know that jealousy is very bad for a human being. So if we are jealous towards anyone, that is our fault. We should not be jealous with anyone, because once we get jealous with anyone, then it is our fault. It is not our quality. If we want to succeed a position, succeed in our life, then we should not be jealous with anyone. We should work hard and we should achieve our ambition. Okay, so let's start the chapter now. There lived a sultan who had 50 wives. My god, 50 wives. The sultan had not one, two, three, not that, 50 wives. Each of his wife had a son, except for Firoza. So Firoza was one of the wives of the sultan, and she don't had a son. The chief queen, Firoza, was the chief queen. I want to tell you something, that now the system of our education has been changed a lot. The way we are teaching has been changed. So that is why you need to be read the full chapter very carefully, each and every line. Please read each and every line very carefully. So Firoza, the chief queen, had no son. For this reason, the sultan was angry with her. So it is not with the sultan, it is the problem of our society, that if a woman don't have a son, she has a daughter, then it is called her fault. So that is not her fault. Daughter or son, that is the gift of nature. So he sent her away to her brother, the king of Samari. There Firoza gave birth to a son, Khudadat, meaning the gift of God. So at last a son took birth, and she gave a name to him, that is Khudadat. He grew up to be a handsome, brave and clever young man. When Khudadat's mother told him about his father, he wanted to go and see him. So Khudadat's mother told him everything about him, that he is a prince and his father is a sultan, and then he wanted to meet his father. His mother agreed. Khudadat set off for Haran. So Haran was their country, the sultan's capital, and presented himself before the sultan. And what did he say? Sir, he said, I am trained in all forms of the art of war. So he didn't introduce himself as his son. He told that I am trained in all forms of the art of war. So I am a good warrior. The sultan tasted him thoroughly and found that what Khudadat had said was indeed true. So he was very brave and courageous person. So he asked him to train the 49 princes in the art of fighting. So the 49 princes, that means the 49 brothers of Khudadat. The princes were jealous of Khudadat, because the princes, that means the 49 princes, were jealous of Khudadat because he was very skilled. The sultan loved him very much, and that was the cause of jealousy of the princes. One day they turn the page. One day they planned to get rid of him. If he pretended to come to harm under his care, our father is sure to have him killed. So they set up a plan. And what was that? They thought that if we pretend, if we make it prove, we prove it in front of our father that we get harm in the care of this Khudadat, then he will certainly kill Khudadat. We will go hunting with Khudadat's permission. When we don't come back, our father put him, will have him put to death. So our father will make him responsible for this incident, and then definitely he will kill him, decided the princess. Khudadat gave them permission. When there was no sign of them after a week, the Sultan called Khudadat. I thought you would take good care of my sons. So after 1 week, there were no traces of the princess. So he called Khudadat. I will have you killed if they come to any harm. So the Sultan threatened him that I will kill you if they don't get back. Now go and bring them back. Khudadat went in search of his brothers. He was searching the brothers. After some time, he came to a castle. He looked up and saw in one of the windows a lovely lady. So, in the way of finding the brothers, she came through a lady. She cried, go away. This castle belongs to a man-eating monster. So, inhabited by a monster. He has locked up several young men in this castle. Oh, I think those several young men are the brothers of Khudadat. So she told everything about that some men are confined in this castle. If he sees you, if he get noticed that you have come here, then what will he do? That means the monster. You too will join them. Then you are going to be confined again. Khudadat asked, who are you, fair lady? Why are you locked in? So who are you? Why are you locked in? I am Daryabar, the daughter of the king of Cairo. So the lady was the princess of Cairo. She was the daughter of the king of Cairo. This monster wants to marry me. That is why he has kept me here. So certainly the princess was not agree to marry that monster, and that is why he kept her in captivity. Now you must go from here. She had hardly finished speaking when a fearsome man came riding up on a huge black horse. He was Khudadat and rushed at him. He saw Khudadat and rushed at him. He was very big and strong, but Khudadat was quicker than him. So that it seems to us that the person who is riding on the horseback, it was certainly the monster. He struck a hard blow on the monster's neck. The monster fell down and died. The princess took Khudadat to the prisons. So, what kind of persons they are? Just look at. They were so much jealous that they were not at all thankful to Khudadat that he had saved them from the monster. And instead of being grateful or thankful to them, they put him in the prison. He freed the young man and was surprised to find his 49 brothers among them. The brave Khudadat married the beautiful princess Daryabar. At the wedding feast, he said to the princess and his brothers, I am Khudadat, the son of the Sultan of Haran and his chief queen Firoza. The princess, so then he gave his real identity. The princess, instead of being happy to meet their 50th brother, thought, he is our brother, and if he tells our father how he has saved our lives, the father will give the kingdom to him. So, again, they were getting jealous of their brother. We must kill him. If we want the kingdom, we must kill him. Otherwise, the kingdom will not be ours. That night, the princes went into Khudadat's tent and struck him with their sword. Then they went back to Haran. So what happened to Hudadat? Oh my God. When the princess awoke, she found Hudadat bleeding badly. So he was bleeding badly. She rushed to the city to find a doctor, but when she came back, Hudadat was not in his tent. Where he had gone? But he was bleeding profusely. The princess told the doctor the whole story. He said, "Let us go to the Sultan, and we will tell everything to him. He will give justice." On their way to Haran, they heard that Queen Firoza was in the capital looking for her son. So the mother of Khudadad was searching her son. The wise doctor told Daryabar, "If I take you to the palace, the princess are sure to kill you, because you will give the evidence that Khudadad was the son of the Sultan, and he had saved the 49 princes from the monster. And out of jealousy, the princess killed his son, who was brave and courageous and a good warrior. Since you know how did they kill Khudadad, I will take you to the queen instead." So let me take you to the queen. To see what happens next. The queen heard the story. The queen heard the story from the princess and went to the Sultan. He asked her what she was doing in Haran. So the king was quite quite astonished to see his queen again. "Looking for our lost son, our son." That was the thing. So the Sultan must know everything then. She replied, "He came to you, and now I hear that your other sons have killed him." The Sultan was filled with sorrow and anger because he came to know the fact about his son. "How could I have been so blind?" he cried. Blind in the sense that he didn't identify his own son, and even he was not aware about the nature of his sons who were born and brought up in the palace like the princess. He cried. Just then a messenger ran in to tell them that they had been attacked by the Turks. So the Turks attacked them. The Sultan and his army rode out to fight the attackers. Suddenly, the Turk was great warriors. The Sultan saw a horseman came into the battlefield with a large army. So who was he? The two armies together defended the Turks. The two armies, that means the army of the Sultan and the army of that man who came suddenly into the battlefield on horseback. The Sultan went to meet the horseman and saw that he was none other than Khudadad. He embraced him and told him all that he had learned from Firoza. It was certainly that he didn't know anything about Khudadad, and that is why he was angry. And when he came to know everything and fact about Khudadad, no anger were there. Khudadad told the Sultan how a doctor had taken him to his house and cured him. "When I went back to look for my wife, she was gone. I thought my brothers had killed her." So that was the worst most possible with her wife, possibly. "I was on my way to Haran when I saw the enemy." So he was searching his wife when he saw the enemy. "I gathered these men from the villages." So the men were from villages. He told the Sultan. The Sultan was determined that his other sons should be killed. But Khudadad said, "I have forgiven them." So forgiveness is mightier than everything. "So I have forgiven them, my father. They were blinded by jealousy. They did so because they were jealous with me." Firoza and Daryabar were very happy to see Khudadad alive. The Sultan said to the other princes, "I would have had you all put to death, but the brother whom you tried to murder, he not only saved you from the monster, and once again they save you from the certain death, has saved your lives. He alone is fit for my throne after my death. So, this is the quality of a king. A king is not only a person who takes care of his country and takes care of his countrymen. It is also, he also comprised of some qualities, that is forgiveness, that is courage, and everything, compassion, everything. The princes realized their mistake and apologized to Khudadat. Thus, the 50th princess became Sultan after his father died. So, it is manlike to punish, but godlike to forgive. So, man punish, but God forgive. So, if you forgive anyone, then you are godly. Okay, and it's a manly thing to jealous with everyone, but don't be jealous with anyone. You just prove to yourself what are you. You, if you have your qualities, then it will emerge certainly. So believe in yourself and be manly and sporting and with a sporting spirit. Okay, so in my next class I will teach you another lesson. Okay, I will start another chapter, and that's all for today. Thank you.